the garden to make room for the new life we've planted, sometimes we find that even worse weeds show up. So I can weed out some crabgrass to allow my lilies to bloom, but then ragweed shows up. And I think a lot of times this happens in ourselves. When we try to weed out or clear out the things about ourselves we don't love in order to let new growth happen, sometimes even worse things can show up. Hi, I am A. Rose, a rural stay-at-home mama who is learning to live a slower life and focus on internal growth. I am learning so much in nature and in my relationships, and I'm sharing some of those lessons with you. Today is day 5 of a 10-day challenge I am doing to wake up every morning and record a video. Today might be a little chaotic because my husband is riding his horse, and so the other horse, I think you can see, the other horse behind us is a little upset. The bull is a little upset, and I have my daughter here with me. She is playing her blocks. She just walked over to me. So today might be a lot of train of thoughts lost. I might lose my train of thought, and that just means that I am going to be very real in this video. When I made this 10-day challenge, I wanted to do these videos no matter what, rain or shine, my husband keeping the babies or them coming out to me, and so we're gonna do this. So in this challenge, I've been waking up at 5 a.m., getting ready, getting outside around 6:30 as the sun is coming up to take care of my garden before my babies need me, before I need to make breakfast and take on the role of caregiver. Today, what I have been working on is weeding around the plants in my circle drive. So I was weeding my lilies, which had a lot of weeds around them. I found that as I pulled up all of those weeds, 1, even worse weeds came up, and 2, my chickens kept scratching where I exposed the dirt and was making it even worse, killing even more lilies. So I let the weeds grow up a lot because I didn't want to pull them up and expose the soil. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that yet. I also weeded around some of our bushes and some of my irises and roses, just helping to make my circle garden look a little better. It's not a perfect circle yet. I need a rock around it, and then we'll add in some more gravel, and that will really help it. So as I was weeding my lilies, I realized what interesting new weeds were coming up. Like, they weren't weeds that I had seen originally. It used to be a lot more clover and grass, but as I pulled that up and disturbed the soil, it gave way to new kinds of weeds. We had pigweed, which is pokey and can only be pulled up with gloves. You don't want to walk barefoot over it. And some other weeds that I didn't find the names of yet. And it made me realize just how much that mirrored our own personal growth, that when we pull out the things we don't like, when we try to plant new things and pull out what's stopping us, we have all kinds of new seeds that come up, all types of new growth that we didn't even know were there. We didn't know those seeds were buried deep inside us. So for me, I'm going to do a YouTube video example again because that's really where the discomfort and growth is happening for me. So I'm pulling out the weeds of self-doubt and planting in these YouTube videos. And as I've found that there's so many pigweeds coming up. I have a lot of fear around being seen, a lot of fear about being honest and truthful and who I truly am. I'm having a lot of self-doubt, doubt that if I don't live the message perfectly, that I shouldn't share it at all. Just a lot of thorny things. Some things that are so thorny I won't even talk about them on camera. But it's not been easy, and sometimes I'm like, would I have been better off not disturbing the ground to begin with? Just leaving it grass and clover. Would I have been better off? And the answer is no, because the seeds were always inside of me. The seeds are always there. So just because it takes some disturbance to make them come up, to make them rear their little ugly heads, doesn't mean that we just shouldn't do the disturbance. Maybe it just means that it was something that needed to come up in order for us to pull it out and truly get rid of it. The seed needed to come up, become a plant, so we could see it, deal with it, pull it out, and grow from it. Maybe you don't garden, or maybe you're not doing YouTube videos, but maybe you've set a goal for yourself. Let's say a goal I've had to set before is not talking bad about anyone to other people. You know, addressing my issues with the person I have them with and not talking about it with other people. So say that's my goal, and I have to pull out all the weeds of the easy satisfaction it brings and the easy topics to talk about when you gossip. You have to lay the soil bare, say, okay, I can't do any of that, pulling out the gossip and planting in new, better conversations. But maybe things that grow for you after you do that are, maybe you realize just how anxious you are in conversations. Maybe you have a lot of self-doubt around what value you bring, that can I even hold a conversation. Maybe you start going home and second guessing yourself because you've been a lot more vulnerable and real in how you showed up, because you're actually focusing on the inside, and it feels so much more uncomfortable in the beginning while you're growing. Or maybe you have decided to start parenting in a gentler way, and maybe your kids are acting worse, and you have to deal with all of these new doubts. Like, now you're no longer dealing with the doubt of, am I a monster? Maybe I'm spiraling into the doubt of whether or not I'm raising good humans. So if your growth journey feels like it is growing more mess than it is magic, if you feel like that maybe you are a little worse off than you were before you ever started to grow, no, it's part of the process. That those seeds that were inside you are sprouting up. They were always there. They always needed to be dealt with. So it's actually a good thing that you had this disturbance. The growth is happening. You're on the right track. So keep growing what matters to you. Keep pulling up what you want to get rid of. And take heart that if it feels messier, that you're not doing anything wrong.